It's our only move, and we're doing it tomorrow.
Okay, just checking in on TikTok. All is well with my son and me. And so here we have another message. If you're interested in the message that I shared earlier, you'd have to go over to my YouTube channel. And that's where I was getting into this, all wrapping up for a lot of you about how deep the involvement went in terms of your stalkers and how deep and how long it went. And for some of you, this is pretty damn massive. And so, it's going to be interesting to see how the final wrappings up of all of this is going to look, because some of you are going to have to do like official claims and so forth, because that's going to be the only way to put an end to this. Okay. Because for those of you that this is your relatives, they're going to be hoovering. Okay, so that has to be brought to the forefront, that there's an exploitation of usage of power in the real estate, mortgage, and housing industry. Okay, that's going to have to be highlighted, and all those names are going to have to be dropped, so that if there's continual foul play, then people will be dealt with more rapidly. Okay, because again, essentially, this has just been the attempt to keep, like some weirdo, to keep hoover you around, what I'm saying, no matter where you go through, because you got to go somewhere. Your kids got to go somewhere. You got to live, somewhere. And so when people are exploiting that industry, that has to be, listen to me, that has to be brought to the forefront. It has to. Because look, collective, just think about it. Those of you who have done what I've done, you don't have problem walking away from people. It's the other way around. You don't have a problem leaving people, places, and things. Okay, it's the other way around, where it's, usually people are trying to, get you stuck or trapped up. So it's not for lack of you being able to simply just go on. It's for the lack of people being able to restrain themselves from feeling entitled to access to you. And this has gone too far. It's against the law. I can go on and on and on. I've been researching this for the last, I don't know how long now. So that has to be called out. You are going to have to, if that's what you're experiencing, because when will it stop? When will it stop? Just think about that. If people are, I don't care what, if people are in those arenas and you decide, okay, very well, I am divine feminine. I am the walking embodiment, nigga bitch of, I can turn a shoebox into, you know what I'm saying? And that doesn't matter. As long as you got them weirdos. Okay? And it's corruption, because that's what these readings have been, corruption. It said corrupt enterprises. Okay? So they got to be called out. You got to drop them names. Okay? And you're going to have to gather all your stuff, even if it has to reach back to when you were over there, when you're here, so that they can connect the dots. Because if they got cahoots with people in there, then they're going to call them in and say, nigga. So you, before you get the line, we gonna ask you, but before you start trying to, Watergate here, you're talking to, so and so and so and so, because you know what, you're ready to lose your job. You ready to lose your job. Okay, because this is a whole killer, and you sitting up there wanting to, maybe you need to lose your job. Maybe this is the problem. Maybe it's people like you that needs to be moved the fuck out the way, because maybe this is the problem. Because like I said, until then, it won't stop. These types of people have databases, and because that's just the way it is in different arenas. You have the access. Technically, you may not supposed to do it, but that don't stop them, right? They're not supposed to be running your shit without your permission, or your children's shit. You know what I mean? Don't stop shit. So y'all better, yeah. You're gonna have to do it, okay? Gonna have to do it. They are all these prospective businesses and organizations, and all these people have all had. I promise you, they all have had ample opportunity to straighten up their shit. They have had ample opportunity to turn in these weirdos of you all's family members that are calling them, or that they have had ample opportunities to put an end to their fiascos and their underground, you know what I'm saying, whatever underworld shit, you know what I'm saying, that they have going on. Okay? The thing is, they target the target population because they feel like it's an easy feat. It's an easy feat. So in other words, before it could come out, they figure you'd be dead, your kid be dead, or you all be incapacitated, or they be them done so much so to where, you see what I'm saying? We ain't letting that happen this time, honey. Not this time. That's why we're taking the necessary time. We're kind of, holding back a little bit. We've taken the necessary time we need so that we go toe to toe, we're going to go toe to toe. Okay, we're going to call it. We're going to file complaints. We're going to file complaints. Yes, we are. We're going to file complaints. And we're also going to share all of that information that we have gathered. Okay. Now, this message, it wasn't about that, but I was just saying, if you all were interested in that, you have to go to my YouTube. Okay. How many more minutes I got? Okay. And so for this, here on TikTok, survivors. What a lot of your haters and your ops have tried to manufacture about you was that you all were bad parents, unfit parents. Okay? Again, I'm going to say it again. What your haters, your ops, and abusers have tried to insinuate about you is that you all are bad or unfit parents. Okay? The background, though, is they were torturing your children, torturing you, throwing obstacles to make your parenting more difficult, throwing the rock, hiding their hand. Okay? What I want you all to remember is this. Most of those folks, first and foremost, that's saying that, they're shitty parents themselves. Okay? Just being honest. They're shitty parents. They may be able to, just because they have, because some of them are these criminal enterprises. So, yeah, they frauded their way into being able to buy their kid a car. They frauded their way to be able to, you know what I'm saying, buy all of these things. And to them and their esteem, then that's what make them good parents. Aside from that, listen. They implied, they're trying to create a narrative. This was manufactured. This has all been orchestrated. So they've been trying to orchestrate and manufacture that you are an unfit parent. Your response, if ever any of them are bold enough to even step to you, but your response, when you think about the very people that's in that energy, is simply, and they are an unfit person. And I said that. Okay? They are an unfit person. And the reason why I say unfit person is because, again, these are your very attackers. These are the people who are stalking, who are stealing, who are plotting, who are scheming, who are forging, all of these things, right? So it's a projection. They say you are an unfit parent. They are an unfit person. Well, I'm just saying. So remember that. Okay, when that chances are none of these people are going to be asked that vote. They never really are. They just do that in the cut. But if ever, and these are the very abusers, your very attackers, okay? You see the hypocrisy, you see the projection. The only reason why they're in an illusion and delusion as to believe that they are good parents, okay, is because, like I said, most of them with their criminal enterprises, they can buy shit for little pookie and shishi. And so they equate that, because they can go and buy, woo-de-woo and yada yada, but that don't make you a fit parent. Not to mention, as I said, they don't, as they're going about trying to imply you're an unfit parent, what they're not telling all those that they're trying to imply that to is they retarded ass. What they're not implying or sharing is the fact that they are behind a scene creating obstacles and challenges for you as a parent. What they're not going to say is them and their weirdo, clique crew, you know what I'm saying, that needs to be cut open and studied. What they not going to say is we're weird witches, not the cool kind, and we be over there in weird caves harvesting disabled people, bitch. And that's why they all, they ain't going to tell you that part. They're going to say, they're going to create all of these troubles in the background. And they know that most people are ignorant. But these are the same people. See, this is why I share this stuff, guys. These are the same people that be shady acres, baby, and not the cool kind of shady acres. Okay? These be the same people, shady acres. They don't have a problem with taking from your kid while they're saying you are an unfit parent. Say it again. They don't have a problem taking from you or your kid while they say you are an unfit parent. We have to learn how to start thinking. Get off this autopilot shit. So they're trying to say somebody unfit parent, and then the next breath, they're trying to scheme. That should be bringing caution right there. Calling someone an unfit parent when they themselves kicked out that person with their kid. Y'all got to start thinking. Some of the people, I'm going to say this again. That's why I hope you all get to this space. Some of these are fucking addicts, yo. And listen, I don't have no discriminatory energy about myself as a person, understanding people deal with all sorts of shits. My issue I take up is when these are the people who have the audacity to be up on a fake ass high horse. That's where I take up personal issue. I'm like, you're a motherfucking addict. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Your lifestyle is trash. And you gonna say, I'm a fucking unfit parent? Your lifestyle is trash. Just because you got fancy schmancy shit that was stolen probably, don't mean ain't nobody talking about that. See, that's helped me a whole lot in my path. They ain't telling people none of that. Fighting and screaming and throwing shit and, drinking, acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody saying none of that. But you are an unfit parent. These are the same people, like I said. They be having, unbeknownst to all the world out there, they be having Johns, Jeanettes, and, who's next in the cut. Getting them out of jams and helping them along the way, or, people in certain places that can give them the hookup with, the hookup, you can, technically, you can get you another social security number and it's legal. And so all you need, like, you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. And they forget those are convenient, lapses of memory. That they've got in-laws and outlaws. Strip all that away and let's see how air quote fit they are. These people are unfit people. Because the implication when they're insinuating that they're about you, okay? When they're trying to insinuate you're an unfit parent, the undertone of that is you are not capable, you're negligent, you are fickle, you are lacking nurturing, you're not lacking balance, you're lacking, care or something. That's the undertone. You don't have the mind to be able to be fit. So then that's the same explanation. They're not fit people. They're not a fit person. And we say that because if they were, okay, we say that due to the fact that they are lacking empathy. They're selfish and self-serving. They're greedy. They're critical and judgmental and self-righteous and hypocritical. They lack balance. They're one-sided. They operate in nepotism. They're prejudiced. They're racist. They are discriminative. They're a misogynist, internal misogynist. They're not a fit person. They don't have a problem taking from the disabled while trying to insinuate folks aren't out there not fit parents. I'm sorry to those of you out there who do baneful, nefarious workings on people's children and then open your useless mouth. Want to target them as, look at them as dollars and cents. They're an unfit person. They objectify people as dollars and cents on a fucking ledger. Looking at them like some fucking come up, plotting and scheming so they raggedy ass friends and shit. They're unfit people. They are. And they themselves, in the truest sense of the word, unfit parents themselves. Because they're a poor goddamn example. I don't care what nobody say. Just because you can fake for the world and you can buy shit, that ain't it. They're a poor goddamn example. These very people. All they're doing is shaping their children to be just like them, which is nothing to brag about. They're shaping them to be bullies. They're shaping them to be insensitive. They're shaping them to not develop as people from the inside out. They're shaping them to lack true empathy for their fellow man outside of their four homegirls, nigga. They're shaping them to care nothing about nothing except for buying shit and consumerism and looking away. We spiritual. We saved, but you're a bully. You're abusive. You're a thief. You're stalking, hoovering around people's lives that clearly don't want nothing to do with you. But they're a good parent. They're a fit parent. Are they? They're just raising the next generation of monsters. Because they watching us. See, this is the part people ain't understanding. They watch. It ain't about just teaching them some standard manners and how to say grace and just, all of those surface little things which are good, but that's not it. It's your energy, baby. Understand me. Listen to me. It's your energy. It's your conduct. It's your get up. It's the things seen and unseen. And then we be mad, and they, be mad. They get older, and be mad, want to feel some kind of way. But teaching them how to hustle, teaching them how to steal, teaching them how to scam bitches, teaching them how to scam niggas, teaching them how to be a drunkard, yeah, you are. That's it. Teaching them how to gamble, teaching them how to finagle, teaching them how to be nepotism, favoritism, teaching them how to be a hypocrite, teaching them. See, this is indirectly. And I have to say that because it's not like nobody is sitting down literally and intentionally just sitting there saying, okay, I'm teaching you this. No, I'm talking about by way of the type of people we are. It ain't just because we can buy them all the stuff. That comes from our lack consciousness. That comes from that scarcity. It comes because we ain't have shit. our whole lives. And so now we think because we don't want it to be, you know what I'm saying? Because how, like, when we was little and we didn't have nothing, or we didn't have barely anything, so everything becomes about that now. To the degree, I mean, to such a degree, with negligence to the importance of being a good person. Being grounded, being balanced, developing a healthy, you know what I'm saying? That gets lost in translation. This is about getting shit. That's it. And it's like, okay, but geez, look how far people are going. But then these are the same people who's got the most opinions. See, that's the personal issue I take up with. Because you can't be both as far as I'm concerned. You can't be, I don't care what nobody else's view on that is for themselves, but for me, you can't be both. You can't be high and mighty better than claiming, woo, and be a criminal too. And be doing baneful, nefarious shit to innocent lives too. Just because you figure because can't nobody see it, then that must mean, you can't be both. Can't be both. Nah. So those are the ones that need to be the most quiet. Because they're the ones, if they were to be truthful with themselves and truthful with the world, they're willing to do any and everything to attain some kind of sense of wealth, success, and having shit, even if it means hurting another life, taking from another life. So they need to shut up and sit down. Also, let me just go ahead and add this. Okay, some of these people that have these views of you all, again, like I said, hopefully this helps you as you just go on in life. It's easy. Some of these folks, like I said, they ain't done nothing by themselves since they came out their mama's hoo-ha. And they still can't. Their functionality is all codependent upon a group. So folks that's the case, they don't have jurisdiction, baby. And I hope y'all can remember that. They have absolute no jurisdiction to weigh in because they themselves haven't been able to. These are the people who have had, albeit they had to scheme their way into it, but nonetheless have had, you know what I'm saying? Throughout the whole thing. Throughout the whole thing. And usually in the moments in which they're saying the things or implying in their very conversations with people, whatever, usually within those very same moments of time, their fitness of parenthood is heavily, whether they want to admit it out loud or not, is heavily connected to what behavioral health would call support system. It's heavily connected to the fact that they have it's a group effort. It's the grandmama, the granddaddy, the aunt, the uncle, the this one, the older sister that's grown that can go to the store and pick people up. Bitch, it is a collaborative effort. And most of them ain't dealt with some of the level of shit that you all have dealt with. So they super need to be quiet because those are leagues of its own. This shit is not all the same. You're not a fit parent. They ain't a fit goddamn person. I'll go further. I'm going to go further. See, on you all's journey and all the mistakes that you've made and all the growth and all of the things that you owned with your failure in parenthood as a young woman, young man, especially if you were a young parent, you have addressed it. You're not perfect, but you've definitely changed and grown and, wholehearted, not just this surface change. I now make money or I'm more disciplined. Sure you are. Keep lying to yourself. But not just that. Life. What is a fit parent? See, energetically, a fit parent is somebody that's going to fight to the death, which is something that I'm doing. That's a fit parent. A whack-ass parent is somebody that will just, stay just all together too caught up in their own shit or whatever and just put them in some kind of a, See, ain't nobody talking about that kind of shit, though. A fit parent, what is a fit parent? A fit parent becomes aware of all of these underlining subtle things that impact your child long after childhood. Dealing with crazy nuts. See, this is why we end up getting into regret. And I can attest to this one right here. I can take a big gulp and swallow, bitch. Because it's, you want to believe in love. You want to believe in humans. You want to believe in all these things and that people ain't all together lunatics. And we put our children at harm's way. But see, I'm going to go a little bit further than that. Not even just with love, but even with crazy whack ass family. Oh, I can guarantee you I regret fucking with them. I can guarantee you I regret dealing with my people. Because again, see, we talking about fit parent. A fit parent, if we want to go here, a fit parent address the subtleties. If people ain't treating you right or your kid right, you know what I'm saying? And you see all this shit happening, then that's the last motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? They crazy. A fit parent addresses that and say, as a fit parent, then it is my responsibility to get over emotional trauma bonds and familiarity. They crazy. Is subjecting him, her, to an environment of lunatics. And nobody want to talk about that. See how surface most humans are. a fit parent. It ain't just about paying that child support check. It's exampleship. It is being responsible for them on a whole sense, their well-being, not just if their belly's fed and they got clothes on their back and they got a couple toys to fucking play with. Are you teaching them how to be good people? Not just the fake Jesus church, not just and then you a hellion. You know what I'm saying? Then, you're doing all that, but then they equally see you do some pretty fucked up shit. Or they perceive it because they're very perceptive. You see mommy and daddy plotting. You show them that mommy and daddy will do anything for some money, some insurance policy. Yep, you just raised up somebody that's going to duplicate that. Now they going to think that's the way of life because that's what we did. That's what we told, that's what we showed them. I don't care if we went to church and we went to the altar and cried. That's what we show them. And if we make it a pattern, if we make this habitual, meaning it's not just, isolated incident. So then that's what we are exhibiting before them. The way you do life is you do whatever you have to do, no matter what it costs. And then try to do good other times. And then go to the altar and ask God to forgive you. There's some people right now that's having a hard time sleeping. The pills are barely working. The liquor is barely working. All of the vices are starting to wear thin. And it's because they're not a fit person. A fit person takes accountability. Isn't it funny? The people who cannot take accountability for their wrongs, for their abuse, for their behavior, for their misuse of authority, power, resources, for their violations to you or your children. These people who cannot take accountability want to tell you or imply that you are an unfit parent. They're an unfit person. A part of being a fit parent is being a fit person, which means this: ownership. And that's something that a lot of these people that has the most to say about you, what they cannot do. So you tell me what's fit and what's not fit. Because it's not about being high and mighty. It's not about driving a Lexus. It's not about making sure they got on this and got on this and that and thus and so and thus and thou. That's fine and dandy. And that's actually easy to do when you don't have people actively sabotaging your child or you. People who cannot own, thinking that I heard somebody say today or yesterday, it's like They're going everywhere. They're going around because they can't face you. It's pride. I can tell you that right now. It's pride. It's pride. It's ego. But that means they're not fit. We're back at what I just said. That means then they're not fit. They're not a fit person. And if they're not a fit person, they're not a fit parent. Because a part of being a good parent is being an exampleship of showing your children how to deal with that. Because I guarantee you, if they live long enough, they're going to have to deal with some issues in life where they're responsible for some things. They're going to have to deal and come a point in time where they make some terrible choice or some selfish choice and decision, and it terribly impacts somebody. And they're going to need to be able to be accountable and to take, to face that. And so we teach them to run. We teach them to avoid, and we teach them to lie, keep the lie alive. But what we'll say is, you ask God to forgive you. And that's what some of these people are doing now, thinking that, they're just going to go to the altar, the synagogue, or whatever it is they're doing, and ask the Lord or God to forgive them or whatever. And then they're going to go on in life and they're just going to be a better person. That's still bypassing. It's running. Some people use this excuse like, well, you can't always, but more often than not, we can. A fit parent, a fit person. They're not fit people when they're willing to let someone think that they're crazy when they know full well that person isn't. When they know full well, I'm going to make y'all think good and plenty. When they know full well what they have done, so they're an unfit person and an unfit parent. When they know full well what has taken place and they're trying to make that person seem like they're crazy, and they're trying to convince everyone else that person is crazy, yet they know what the truth is, that is an unfit person. And as a result, an unfit parent, because they're just raising up monsters. They're raising up people who will not take accountability and responsibility for how they have impacted people and hurt people's lives. And I get it. We all do stuff on a lighter scale. Either way this thing goes. That's another escape tactic. Everybody make mistakes. And some people know how to own them. Truly. Do you? Some people know how to atone. Some people know how to. That's a part of growth and maturation. Is it easy? No. Is it comfortable? No. And I'm not implying that, but that's a part of the ego death in a sense of, it's, you got to humble yourself because you know. And the truth of the matter is, if you care about a person, see, this is the stuff I will continue to teach about in terms of, all this yapping, all this yapping, stuff coming out of humans' mouths and shit. When you really truly care, caring ain't about I'm saying that I care about you. I'm saying that I love you. I'm saying I'm buying you this and that. No. It comes down to this kind of shit too. Because when you care, truly, That means you care about how you have affected somebody. You care about how your actions impacted them because you care. And this is when you don't have malicious intent. See, the only you can really only do this when you didn't have malicious intention. And I think for some of these folks out here, the reason why this is so hard is because they had malicious intention to start. It was intentional. It was on purpose. They were trying to hurt you. They were trying to, trap you. It was intentional. So when it's not something that was a matter of a mistake or just for lack of awareness of something at the time where this was premeditated, then it's super humbling. It's super humbling. But at the end of the day, because see, these be the people that's claiming all this transformation, how different they are. In that they're no longer like this and that anymore. The proof is in the pudding. And it's not just in running and escaping from the messes you've made. It's in dealing with the mess that you've made. Unfit parent. Don't let that stuff. I hope my true supporters, viewers, followers, I hope you all get to that phase and you can see through all this BS. But this is also why we got to stay on top of our game. I was talking to my son. When was this? I was trying to have a conversation with him the other day about, my son has been so traumatized. It's heartbreaking for me. I take that on my own shoulders. Okay. And didn't deserve none of that. Okay. On top of the things he already deals with, just with his, condition. And a lot gets developed, and since we live in a society that's very ignorant, so all these ways to maintain comfort. Like, so now all he wants to do is wear all brown. At first, only thing he wanted to do was wear all black. Then I had to go from that. And then I had to get very super duper creative of trying to find all brown stuffs, like multiple browns, because he just want to wear brown shirts, brown pants, brown shoes, brown socks. He'll put on a black sweater if it's cold, but it needs to have brown on it. But other than that, no. Okay. That's been really fun. But here's my point. The trauma that I'm helping him to get through and heal through and working with him, it's the not feeling safe. And when that's the case, there's a tendency. That's why I don't want to deal with uneducated people no more. Or people who just lack empathy because they get into this judgy energy that they just need to quit. A part of, what happens with them as a way of, just like we have ways to comfort, just like we have our ways of soothing ourselves or coping, so do they. And for them, it's familiarity, anything that they can create. So they want to wear the same thing. They don't want to, they're afraid they're going to lose stuff because if they've been traumatized by weird shit, you know what I'm saying? So they'll have this attachment to, they don't want to put on pajamas. They only want to wear their clothes, or they want to take this with them all the way. And that's a part of their trauma. And then you'd have some ignorant nigga or ignorant bitch out here on a soapbox, okay, looking for something to pick at, because that's what that's about. That's why I got some heavyweight judgment on a whole lot of heads right about now. Because that's what it's really about. Wanting to find something to pick at. With their ignorant ass. And so, you know, and they be in that energy, but I'm like, you see the ignorance? Trying to imply that there's some kind of negligence or lack of care. And then these people be trying to be nosy, trying to pocket watch you. Again, that's why I got some judgment on heads right there. Looking for shit. At the same time, wanting to make it unnecessarily difficult. This is how you know it's something pervasively wrong with a whole lot of people. Unfit. People trying to poison you. Y'all got to think about this shit, okay? Why they having their opinions. Bitches, people trying to poison your dumb ass? No. Putting poison in you and your kids' food? No. Shut up then. Next. Y'all keep moving forward. And the more this sinks in, as it has for me, the less and less you care. But stay on top of your game, because we live on this 3D reality, as off as two left shoes as it is. And it is exploited. So this is why we have to get creative, okay, with trying to do the best we can to, you know, take care of ourselves, take care of our children. But this is also why we need to file complaints and, you know, report things and so forth. Because, again, these people's attempt to try to make your life restrictive and then say you're a bad parent. Once you trap somewhere where there's no busing system, limited transportation system, but then say you're a bad parent. Say that you're not right. They're a bad person. They're not a good person. They're not a fit person. A fit person would want someone to be able to put their children, whatever that age range is, in a healthy environment for them to thrive. Not just survive and say some weak ass shit like, well, technically there is a transportation system. Not a public one, and it's a limited and restricted one, which is, again, limiting and restricting how well you can provide care for your children. So that's going to help you sift through that, because when people try that shit, but then in one breath, they try that, you're an unfit parent. And then when you're trying to do the things that would be conducive to be a good parent in order to, bitch, improve the overall well-being, then they want to take you through circles and hurdles, because they're full of shit and they're not fit people. The end.